Okay, let's see if I can pull off another one of these videos today. Back by popular demand, you guys are pulling me back in because of this FUD. Okay, so I'm back. So just get the disclaimer out of the way. This is just for entertainment, not financial advice. So what happened? What happened? We dropped down to like $14 on Uniswap. Here's so we almost had like a double bottom. $14 there, and looks like maybe almost $14 here. And we rallied. And so people were asking me on my YouTube videos in the comments, where are you? Post a video and on my Twitter. And I'm like, well, this is long-term investment on my point of view. You buy and you hold and you buy the dips. When they drop 50%, you buy. And if it drops another 50%, you buy. So if you want like up to the minute action, you could tweet me at my Twitter page, which I'll probably put a link to it in the description. But that's where I could respond quicker. YouTube, I'll put one of these out once a week, maybe if that. But this is just buy and hold channel. But I did post price updates quite frequently on my Twitter page. So if you want up to date information, you gotta follow me on Twitter, or if you want to ask me stuff. Which also I gotta, I usually reply to everybody on YouTube, and then YouTube had suspended my channel twice, like twice in the last 2 weeks. I think it's because they think I'm spamming because I replied to a lot of people, and I know that sounds odd, but Graham Stephan's channel, he did that happened to him also. He likes to reply to everybody, and his channel got flagged or something. And my channel, I didn't even get a warning or anything, no strikes or nothing. They just canceled it. So you have to send in an email for an appeal, and 1 or 2 days later, my channel gets activated. So with that in mind, I'm gonna probably not reply a lot on the YouTube channels just because YouTube's algorithms, I get flagged if I reply too much. So so that being said, again, follow me on Twitter for up to date information. So of course the FUD was CoffeeZilla's YouTube video. And I didn't even know about it. I mean, I knew the price went down $20 and then $14. But I really didn't know why, because I don't really pay attention to the news. I'm all about the fundamentals and the numbers. So CoffeeZilla, I listened to it once, briefly, and I think he's stretching it when he's saying it's a scam. I should have pulled it up, but I'll pull up his tweet also in a little bit later. So, yeah, I think he just wasn't happy with the fact that the initial $1 million wasn't provided in the liquidity at first, which he has a point. I think it would have been better for the million token to grow naturally if the first 1 million tokens minus tech leads 15% were sold at $1 million evenly distributed. I don't think that was the case. I think it would some were sold at $1, but then it rapidly went up a lot. Let's see where we can get for it here. So from July 1st to July 3rd, I'd have to look at the Etherscan to see if all the tokens that were sold by TechLead were at $1. I'm thinking not, because it went from $1 to $4.81 rapidly. I don't know why. How come it didn't go from $1 to $1.10, $1.50, and then go to $2, and then what I'm trying to say. I don't know why it shot up all the way to 4x, almost 5x in one 4-hour candle. That seems very odd to me. So I'm thinking that if the initial coins that were sold for $1 and evenly distributed, it probably would have been a little bit better for a natural growth for the token instead of this, giant wick up and then, more parabolic moves. But that's all in the past. There's nothing you can do about it. it is what it is. And I think he had another problem with tech lead making money providing liquidity, which I don't think CoffeeZilla just understands. That's just how Uniswap works. I mean, if you're going to take the risk and upload million token and USDC to provide liquidity to help with the transactions, you're taking a risk, and you can make money or lose money, and everybody does that. It's not specific to this token. And the way that he says tech lead had shell accounts, well, he's just separating his money. That's separate from million token. He hasn't sold any million token personally of his 15% or 14% stash. So I mean, I can understand how he just wants to keep it separate, and then if he wants to provide liquidity in the future, he could just go to those accounts. But I know CoffeeZilla. If you go to, I mean, I didn't know anything about his channel until recently. But if you go to his channel, his most recent videos, he's always trying to protect the public about scams and stuff, which I appreciate that. I just think he's a little off base on this. He might have said something about a Ponzi, so let me just go over that with you real quick. Like, the Ponzi is when the initial investors want to cash out rather than sell the item itself. You borrow money from new investors and you pay that out, so the price doesn't really drop of the item. So that doesn't happen with the million token. If when you have more sellers than buyers, the price is going to drop, and it did. So yes, a Ponzi is a type of scam, but this isn't a Ponzi by definition. So CoffeeZilla, he has some gripes with how million token may have been launched or whatever, and that's fine, but to call it a scam is far reaching. It's just, I wouldn't think that's an accurate term for this. It's just, for me, it's about the fundamentals. Buyers and sellers, the price is going to be what the buyers and sellers decide it's going to be. If there's more sellers than buyers, price is naturally going to drop. And then when we have a parabolic move like this, from $1 to $220 in a short amount of time of 2 weeks, you're going to have a rapid decline. And as it drops lower and lower and lower, and people who bought at $1 or $4 or $5, and the price is still $30, they're going to get a little scared and like, well, I could still cash out and 5x my money, and they're going to do it because they didn't do it when it was at 220. So the price is going to come naturally down. And so we had touched the previous high of $40 a couple times, plenty of times to buy $40, and then we went down to 20 and then down to 14. And there was a clip I wanted to play for you here. I uploaded this like 2.5 weeks ago. Let me just play it for you real quick. So, yeah, I don't think there's enough pain yet for million token holders, unfortunately. I'm going to talk about the downside, and then I'm going to talk about the upside. But the downside, okay, so that was uploaded July 21st. And you can see my levels right here, right? What's the low level of $13? And we hit 14. So from my very first video, I've always had a bearish projection because of the parabolic move. And so when I'm here about CoffeeZilla, spreading this FUD, I mean, it was probably going to go down to those levels anyway. That's just how markets work when you have this parabolic move. And you've got whales, buying and selling thousands of tokens at whim. They're going to move the markets until a floor is reached. And I've said that how many times on this channel, right? So, I feel like I don't need to discuss CoffeeZilla's video as much as you might think I need to. I disagree with his terminology. And let me see if I can find real quick on Twitter. There was something he had tweeted or replied to somebody a million token person, and his reply was um pretty good. It wasn't as harsh as his YouTube video. Let's see where it goes. Where is it? Tweets and replies. I should have had it up earlier. Let's see now. Oh, yeah, here we go. So no personal vendetta. It just so happens I think of the following things are bad. So here his tone is much nicer, and he's just saying what he probably just should have said in his original video, to say it's a scam. Um, again, I think is far reaching. So with that in mind, the video, the CoffeeZilla's video didn't affect me one bit. I didn't even know what happened. I'm just looking at the price, and then you buy the dips. If you're gonna panic every time somebody calls something a scam or million token a scam, you're too personally invested in this token. Okay, so that's another thing I want to talk about. The people that are panicking, you have to ask yourself, why are you panicking? When you bought this investment or this speculative investment, what was your plan when you bought it? So you buy it. If it goes up, are you going to sell at a certain price point? Are you going to sell if it goes down to a certain point? Are you going to sell and then just that you follow through with your plan? My plan was I was going to buy this and hold it. Okay, probably until I think the altcoin season is going to be over, maybe at the end of this year or whatever. I just something I have to follow. But my goal was to buy and hold. So I held it from 224 all the way down to wherever it is now. I haven't sold any of my tokens, and I bought more as the price dropped. And I had on paper like over $1.8 million, and I don't even know what I have now. Probably less than 300,000. I'm not panicking. I'm just sticking with my plan. And if it goes down below my cost average, I'll just buy more because I know eventually the floor is going to be met and it's going to go up. It might take longer than you might expect, but that's just part of investing. You just got to stick through it. So that's all I want to say about CoffeeZilla. Now, I do have some other topics I want to discuss real quick about the whales and this NFT. So, million token. Let me just pull up the holders of the whales. Okay, so here we are. Contract address. The top holders, TechLead being number one, and you got Uniswap, Bridge, and then another Uniswap, and then a couple of the big wallets. Right. I've heard too many times on YouTube and Discord and Reddit, like the whales are gone or whatever. That is absolutely false. And any YouTuber is saying, "Oh, we only have a couple people with like 1.4% or whatever." Don't listen to them. I mean, they don't know how to read Etherscan. Okay, these whales that were in here before, they just sent some other tokens, a few thousand tokens to other addresses. So rather than have one big wallet, they had several other wallet addresses. Okay. This number 4 right here, the one ending in 62CA0, today has 20,364. And so you click on it and you've got 10 pages here if you want to click through it. But no, he sent 1,005 tokens to this address right here. So we'll just click on that. So look, he's got 1,000 in this address. He just sent it there. Okay. Let me close that out. So he's got 20,364 plus another 1,005 plus another 1,004 in this address, another 1,003 in this address, another 1,002 in this address, another 1,001 in this address. And this is just one entity doing this when we had a lot of other whales doing the same thing. You got to be asking yourself, well, why are they sending 1,000 tokens to these other addresses? Well, it's because they want this NFT, right? This one right here that TechLead says, I will give you an NFT if you at this certain date, whenever he put that video out, said From this point on, if you hold 1,000 tokens hold it for 10 days, you're eligible to get this. So, people like me who just bought and held from the beginning, from day 2, were not eligible because I thought it was wrong to transfer tokens to another address so I could be now eligible for this. That's what these whales are doing. In fact, there's one right here owned by let's see now, up for $888. This guy, it was showing earlier. Oh, FF5719. So you click on this. This guy's selling it for $888. And look, this guy's got 3 of them. And look at the address. It's the same address I just showed you a moment ago. He's got 3 of them, at least 3 of them. He probably he could have more, but he just transferred them to here. So to be eligible here, these are the addresses that are eligible. A lot of these addresses are from one entity that had thousands of tokens, and they just put it in other addresses. And, they're like, oh, I'm eligible now. And then they get, these NFTs. So Tech Lead had distributed 18. He's down to 82 of these the million diamonds. He called it, I think he said it was like, if you've got diamond hands, you hold for 10 days, which is, I can't believe he said that. I mean, diamond hands is when you hold something and it drops 50 or 80% and you're still holding it. Holding it for 10 days doesn't give you the right to say you have diamond hands. Sorry. So, I asked Tech Lead somewhere around here. I said right here in the, he had posted something about diamond hands. And I said, some of those 45 eligible holders are one person who subdivided their original addresses to multiple addresses are now qualified new holder. How are you dealing with this? As an early bag holder, I'm excluded unless I do the same dirty tricks. Never got a reply from Tech Lead. But this is what's going on. People just gobbling up these NFTs because they just created new wallets. They weren't even hiding it. At least what you could have done was sold your tokens, take your USDC, send it to Coinbase where it gets conjoined, take your USD, send it to a new Ethereum address where you could buy your million token that way, so it looks like you're a totally different person. But they weren't even smart enough to do that, and they're getting away with getting multiple NFTs. And I know the intent was these NFTs were to go to people to help support, to bring in new buyers. Okay, and I think that was commendable. But if you're giving out these NFTs without looking at the transactions of the histories of the entities you're giving it to, it just feels tarnished now to me. It's like, okay, so that's enough of that. I think somehow Tech Lead skipped the step. He forgot about the original people that supported this project in the first place. They should have been a snapshot or something saying, okay, like for the first week or two, for individuals that bought million token and did not sell or transfer to another wallet, you're eligible for this NFT. I think that's something that could be done. But to say something like what he did recently or a couple of weeks ago, how this NFT was going to be played out, you just bend the rules, create a new wallet and send it out. And, I asked about this on his Twitter and on mine. Didn't get a response. So, in the future, when I see this, it doesn't mean the same to me. I hope a better NFT comes out, and when future NFTs come out, it shouldn't be like, do this and you get this. It should be like, take a snapshot of the blockchain and find out who would be eligible, and then ask them to, donate for some gas fees or something for it. But that's just my 2 cents. I like the idea of NFTs. Maybe you could use it in with Discord or Reddit or whatever, some social website where you can flash your NFT or whatever. But this is disappointing where I see a whale like this, 2CAO, have 3 of these NFTs, and if you look at his, he's just a pumper and dumper, you know, and he's got a couple of these already, and there's only 100 of them, so very disappointing. So, since you got me here, let me look over some stuff real quick. I mean, pretty much everything I've said from the very first video is kind of coming true, right? So let's just follow through. Okay, here we are at the altcoin season. I pull, still going down, just like I said it would. How does this affect a million token? Well, if this goes down all the way through December, like it might, then I think we're going to have more downward pressure on the million token price as well as other altcoins. Now, the upside is, the whales bought a lot of Bitcoin over the last few weeks, and Bitcoin is doing very, very well. It looks like it's trying to break above the 200-day 200-day moving average, which is really good. It's got to get above this for me to be bullish. Let me go on the weekly. That was on the day. So we never broke this exponential ribbon on the weekly. So you could always argue, well, we're still in a bull market. We were never in a bear market. Looking very good. The time wise, if we are going to have a blow off top late this year, then we should go up higher. So if we continue to go up, I assume million tokens should follow to go up. But if these whales keep pumping and dumping, I don't know where the floor price is going to be. But again, just buy the dips. If it goes up, don't FOMO in and buy, right? Unless, you think it's going to go higher, but, you had a lot of times to buy at $40 here and it dropped another 50%. I was kind of surprised it dropped down to $14. I thought maybe 16 would be the lowest because I was looking at the liquidity, which is actually better now than what I posted on Twitter. So, be sure to follow me on Twitter because I post a lot of stuff there about liquidity, charts, projections, and stuff like that. So altcoins still going down in relative to Bitcoin. Ethereum, with the EIP 1559 had a big pump. I feel like it's really just carrying the whole market at this point. Bitcoin, yeah, it's I think it's still looking good. Overall, the trend is up, right? This isn't the full 10 years, but if you look at over 10 years, the trend is up, and that's why I'm a hodler. I don't need to buy and sell constantly. So that's another thing is if you're holding a million token, another reason why I am not panicking, even though I'm down a lot as far as what's on paper, is because it's just a small percent of my portfolio. Okay. So I might be somewhere around 80% or whatever in Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin pumps, most of my portfolio pumps. And when it's alt season and the alts go crazy, yeah, Bitcoin's going to take a hit, but the small percentage I have in altcoins will kind of balance out my portfolio as they outperform Bitcoin. So asset allocation according to your risk tolerance. If you're panicking about Bitcoin, you need to ask yourself why and fix it. If you've got too much in Bitcoin, a million token, then take some off the table, or know that, if the price drops, you're just going to buy more. I don't know what your strategy is to survive and get through it, but you have to figure that out yourself. For me, it's just buy and hold, and that's what this channel is about. Every 50% dip, I try to buy now. And honestly, I wanted to buy at 20, but those wicks were just too damn fast for me. I do stuff on the weekends, but I'm not even that mad. I didn't buy it because if it comes down again, I'll have another chance to buy. This thing is coming down so fast. Eventually, it's got to go sideways and for like an accumulation, because eventually if these whales keep pumping and dumping, they're going to be buying back their own tokens that they dumped because there's nobody else is selling. So, looking at this right now, it looks like we're going to go roll over again. We couldn't even get above this 20 moving average on the 4 hour. So it looks like we're going to be rolling back down. for the moment. But again, I'm just, buying. I'll buy at $20 and then I'll buy at $10 because that's, another 50%. Drops another 50% from there. I'll buy at $5. I don't care where the bottom is, but eventually it'll plateau out. You'll have an accumulation zone and it'll go up. And then when this alt season finally breaks out of this descending channel, I'm set. I'll have all the tokens, at a low cost as the price continues to rise. That's my plan. What else is there to cover? I think we covered everything. I don't really care about CoffeeZilla's video. I don't care about anybody else's video that comes out in the future saying this is a scam or whatever. It's all noise to me. I'm all about the fundamentals. When Bitcoin reaches $65,000 or whatever, and people FOMO in, and Bitcoin goes up higher levels, eventually some of those Bitcoiners are going to take their profits from Bitcoin and put them into alts, and then altcoins are going to just skyrocket. So there's two types of altcoins. I should have prepared this more, but I'll just talk about it. Generally speaking, you have some altcoins that outperform Bitcoin, like Chainlink, I think off the top of my head, and then others that don't. Like over the long term, XRP did not outperform Bitcoin. You would have just been better holding XRP. So what's Million Token going to do? Okay, so it's too early to tell right now, but the fundamentals tell me that it's going to outperform Bitcoin over the long term because right now we are still early. If you get in now, it's still early. If I'm wrong, let's say I'm wrong, and after the blow off top happens, whether it's 6 months from now or whatever, if Million Token has not made new all-time highs, then I might say, yeah, I was wrong. And then you know what? I just sell, take it at a loss, and I write it off because I have my Bitcoin that hopefully made me money. And if I lost money on Million Token, it's a write-off, it's a tax write-off. So I don't think I'm going to need to write off Million Token, but that's how you have to play it. If you gotta, when you sell your winners and losers, they cancel each other out on taxes, at least in the United States. So I think that's enough. How much did I talk for? I talked a lot, but 27 minutes. Jesus. Okay. Sorry about that. So that's all I have to say. And just stick with the plan.